Get us. I think we should give up all our rights because the gremlin attacks, ladies and gentlemen, almost even more scary than Al-Qaeda, who publicly works for the globalist. Let me settle down and get to all the news here. Okay, let me just settle down. I got really angry by watching Europe implode, the U.S. implode by design. I'm going to get back into that in a moment. But they did find the Atlantic magazine cover. There it is. The hero. It's just the hero, Ben Bernanke, of the Federal Reserve. But also, the other headline is Rahm Emanuel takes Chicago, and what a hero he is. There's an article in there because we bought the magazine about he's a hero, too. I mean, these are heroes. See, the gangsters have taken over to such a level now that they are on all the magazines, and they're heroes. And what they're doing is heroic, stealing everything, and telling you the IRS is going to make you buy their health care products, and they're going to cut the quality of health care, too. And the president's going to legalize illegal aliens, even though he can't do that. He did it. And he's going to ship guns into Mexico and blame the Second Amendment. And he's going to ship opium in publicly. And, well, that's just the way it is. And if you don't like it, you know what Nightline and CNBC and MSNBC and CNN and Fox and everybody else says, and Rolling Stone and New York Magazine and basically Vanity Fair, you're crazy like Alex Jones. I mean, if you don't like textbook tyranny with a icing of high-tech technocracy on it, you're a bad person. So just remember, we're all bad. I mean, we are bad. We are the bad people. And we're in good company. FEMA does teach, and I have the footage in my film Road to Tyranny, that the Founding Fathers are terrorists and are bad. And the police sit there in the room in Kansas City in the particular video agreeing and being told that they're good. They behave about like 7-year-old children, being told they've done good by the third-grade teacher. And we have all the training manuals right through today saying it. And some police have woken up, when you go and hear that George Washington's a bad man. It's like an alternate parallel universe or something. But Thomas Jefferson, though, is even worse. And, Mom, apple pie. Salon did a big article attacking Joseph Farah and myself yesterday, saying we're kooks, we're dangerous, we're crazy. That, there's a line where Jones says they're going to try to, outlaw people that support George Washington. We had just been talking about a new federal report that police are being given saying that the Founding Fathers are bad and freedom lovers are bad. Basically, it's saying the 4th of July is bad. That article had gone viral. It had been all over the news. It had been on starting with the Drudge Report last week when we wrote it. By the way, we have another big Drudge Report link on the right-hand side down there today dealing with the Army and Air Force just spraying for mosquitoes. You don't need local government anymore as things just got unplugged. Here, let me plug my headset back in, my earpiece back in. But there is the article, and it's just like, the Army, they're going to run checkpoints now for security. They're going to be at the prom, the high school basketball game. It's like, why is the Army here? Well, they're just here. Why are the Marines with sidearms in the back of a Humvee with a heavy machine gun in the back running a DWI checkpoint? Well, they're just here to help. Hey, there's a car wreck down there on, at the corner of this highway and that, and the Army helicopter landed, and they're cutting the people out. Well, isn't it nice they're down there cutting them out? What are you against cutting people out of cars? And so the acclamation happens where, hey, the CIA's down the street. The CIA is now working with local police to identify threats. But it's no big deal. Yeah, and the cops now are going to make you get out of your car and aim a laser beam at you that supposedly says if you're on drugs or not. Ladies and gentlemen, they have, for 10 years or more, have ruled that lie detector tests are a complete fraud. They're only good to trick somebody who's lying into saying you've caught them. It's only good for somebody that knows you're lying to convince you that they've proven you're lying so you'll break down. They don't work. They're total and complete frauds. And anyone can learn how to beat one in about 5 minutes. You just stay agitated the entire time. That's one way. You want to hear other ways to beat lie detectors? And again, that's like beating a wet paper bag. Usually they're used, even when you're innocent, to say, the FBI technician, the same one at the crime lab who'll set you up and send you to prison knowing you're innocent, says you're guilty when you're not. That's what lie detectors are. And now they're coming out with all these new high-tech ones where the cop gets out on the highway and stand there, I'm going to aim the laser beam at you. oh, it shows that your adrenaline is high, and it shows you're on some kind of narcotic. By the way, and these quack machines for the military-industrial complex looking for explosives in land of the free, home of the brave. I mean, it's ridiculous. Oh, it's so scary, the terrorist. And then in 90+% of the cases, I'd have to get, I don't know, 96, 97. I mean, there's some real terrorism. It's totally staged. And they get some drugged up shock therapy person on halcyon amnesics on the plane to try to light the plastic explosives as everyone says they're drooling. Light the underwear, drooling. Light the shoe, drooling, 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 drooling. I mean, did they ever have some surveillance camera of me whacked out of my mind, shock therapy, I've disappeared for a month, and I'm running around like that big defense contractor was. Remember him? He got caught on surveillance, and they found him dead in a trash can, and they said, oh, he must have just died naturally. That famous guy, I forget his name, that worked for Bush, was the head of all these corporations. And he's like saying they're after me, and the Department of Defense is breaking in his house, and they're chasing him around, and then they kill him, and the police are told, oh, he just died over there and was put in the dumpster. Yes, And you can see him in those surveillance footage. Obviously, he's been drugged. And he's, got out. He's running around with his shoes off, his torn suit. Nuh-uh, pal. No, sir. No, sir. That's what they do. They electroshock you, give you a bunch of drugs, and then just pump messages in that the pain will stop when you do this. And then they just release you like a wild animal to go off. And then so there's the underwear bomber, the shoe bomber drooling. And they don't even have passports. And there's a U.S. State Department going, we need to get these men on the plane. Please help us. And the head of airport security is like, well, we can't do this. They go, national security. Make a phone call to your bosses if you want, here in Amsterdam or here in London. Get him on the plane. This is national security. And they look over and the guy's drooling. They go, okay, on the plane. I mean, this is the world we live in. But side issue, I need to get back into the other news here. Yeah, there it is. Underwear bomber was working for the CIA. I mean, it's just, that's London Guardian. Oh, every time. Every time. The guy making the bombs was CIA. And it's like, oh, when that got leaked, they went, yes, stunning that we were on top of it, making the bombs. That's how well we've infiltrated Al-Qaeda. Yeah, the Al-Qaeda you run. And then they show the American people the sock puppet of Al-Qaeda. Guys, I want to buy a puppet of an Al-Qaeda creature, so I can sit here on the air with it actually and go, I will get you if you don't give your rights up. Oh, no, I will then. Does the TSA want to grope me and my family? Yes, to keep you safe. I mean, I really want to start. Like, I've never been trained as a ventriloquist, but we grew up, I grew up with I'm trying to remember his name, pretty well-known magician lived 2 doors down from us. And he would always come over when I had friends over. So he'd also come over to my birthday parties. He was really old, really nice guy. And he would do magic tricks for us, but he was a ventriloquist. And he'd talk into a potted plant or something and say, are you down in there? Yeah, I'm down in there. And I'd say, hey, you're talking out your mouth. And he goes, no, I know. I'm talking to him down in there. I said, are you in there? Yeah, I'm down in there. So what I want to do is I want to get a little Al-Qaeda puppet. And then I can walk around the office, and just when I show it to somebody, they just, oh, please, oh, God, take all my rights away. And it's can have a little headdress on, like a white, flowing Moses-like beard, be wearing a nightgown. I really want to have one of those here. I mean, I'm just sick of it. The whole thing is a sick joke, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let me just digress here. I tend to never plug in the first hour of the show, or the third or second for that matter, products, videos, things we're doing here at Infowars.com, because I'm so busy covering the news. But you hear mainline talk radio, you hear plugs almost every segment. That's how you fund a radio show. But we have the news websites, and we fund a lot of things with ad traffic there, and we have the subscriptions for 15 cents a day. You get a 15-day free trial at prisonplanet.tv and see the live radio show daily and also the nightly news. Again, prisonplanet.tv. And we also have some other ways that we're able to raise revenue, books, videos, T-shirts, things like that. And that's what we're doing. And I talked yesterday about how important it is to buy things like ProPure, 10% off, best gravity-fed filters out there at InfoWarsShop.com. or InfoWarsStore.com will get you there. We have a Yahoo shopping cart we've had for about 14 years, but we also have this 3D cart. That's where you go when you go to InfoWarsShop.com. It's a pretty big company. They've done a great job for us, by the way. And here is the customer service email we got yesterday, because we noticed the shopping cart was down for part of the day yesterday. And it says, "Hi there, Matt. We discovered that your start was the target of a DDoS attack. We were able to block the IP that was causing the issues, and service has returned to normal. At this point, everything should be functioning as expected. We certainly apologize for the inconvenience. If you experience any further issues, please let us know." What a great company. Yes, we know about the denial of service attacks and the slow Loris attacks and the Easter Bunny attacks and all the rest of it, which the NSA launches itself against the United States, because it's not the NSA, it's the Banker Occupational Surveillance Criminal Network. And they launch Stuxnet themselves and say, give your rights up. And we've tracked it before. It's the Pentagon and it's private corporations, and they attack all our sites basically constantly. And thanks to great hackers and people out there that have contacted us with tips and things, our great IT staff has been able to keep Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.com up and running. But know this, the system does not want you buying things like dreams from my real father, Joel Gilbert, exposing Obama's real roots. They don't want you getting the greater good, exposing vaccines or killing and maiming people, and just a scourge. They don't want you getting Farmageddon. They don't want you getting the Toronto hearings on 9/11. They don't want you getting any of this information. They don't want you getting indoctrination about the public schools or Thrive or a noble lie about Oklahoma City or scientists under attack. I mean, you know, Google banned any firearms advertisements 2 weeks ago. We talked to a sponsor that's a firearms company that's got awesome deals, by the way. I don't know if I can mention their name yet. We got a bunch of firearms sponsors. And they said it killed their business by 80% when Google said no more advertising. And newspapers are now saying it. This is the discrimination. It's what the Nazis did to the Jews first and others, was said you can't advertise. And now you can't have your shop. And now we're going to knock your windows out. Now we're going to send you to a ghetto for your safety. This is what the Soviets did to the Ukrainians, and what the communist Chinese did to the shopkeeper middle class groups. This is how they do it. So InfoWarsShop.com. Now I'm just going to plug a whole bunch more, since you think it's funny that and they did hit us. They did knock out some of our revenue. But anytime I need to, by the grace of God, I could come on here and raise $1 million by snapping my fingers from our great audience. So you know what? I was thinking about not even having a money bomb this year, because I was going to try to expend the funds we've got, hiring all these crew and expanding. But you know what? We're going to hire even more people and do even more. That's it. We're doing a 48-hour nonstop money bomb now. And we're going to try to raise twice as much, since you don't want us raising money. Anyways, the point is that we constantly have huge attacks, small attacks, different types of attacks. People spoofing us, going out as if they're us, trying to get us in trouble. And it just shows you